Well, it's Advent Sunday and I'm up bright and early, out and about, looking for the holly and the ivy and the greenery, ready to make an Advent wreath for our worship. Why an Advent wreath? Why do we bring them into churches and our homes? Well, Advent, a time of waiting, a special time of preparation, and Advent means coming. It anticipates the coming of Christmas and the acknowledgement of God born as a baby amongst us. It starts on the Sunday closest to November the 30th and ends on Christmas Day. Advent may last between 22 and 28 days, depending on which day of the week Christmas falls. And the liturgical colour of Advent that you will see in churches and around the necks of priests in stoles is purple, or occasionally midnight blue. In the 4th and 5th centuries, Advent was a preparation for Epiphany rather than Christmas, and it was also a time for new Christians to be baptised and welcomed into the church. This then changed to Easter in later times. It was a fasting period, and it had quite a sombre overtone. It lasted 40 days from St. Martin's Day on November the 12th, and in 6th century Rome, the focus of Advent was the second coming of Christ. But in the Middle Ages, it became about anticipating Christ's birth as well. Nowadays, we don't so much fast like we do in Lent. Rather, we prepare reflectively and joyfully for the coming of the Christ child. There is a returning to the heart of God, the God who is love. And our Advent hymns and carols reflect that deep thinking and contemplation. O come, Emmanuel, and free captive Israel. They're not joyful like ding dong merrily on high, but there is a time and an opportunity for reflection and quiet and thinking about what the birth of this baby means for us. And so in homes and in churches, there is an Advent wreath, 4 candles for Abraham, for Isaiah and the prophets, for John the Baptist, for Mary, and a central 5th candle lit on Christmas Day. The wilderness and the dry land shall be glad, and the desert shall rejoice and blossom, says Isaiah. And a shoot shall come out from the stock of Jesse, and a branch grow out of his roots. And the Spirit of the Lord shall rest on him, the Spirit of wisdom and understanding, the Spirit of counsel and might, the Spirit of knowledge and the fear of the Lord. And the wolf shall live with the lamb, and the leopard lie down with the kid, and the calf and the lion and the fatling together, and the little child shall lead them. We wait and we watch, with the holly and the ivy, and the lighting of the candles, the light shining in the darkness that can never be extinguished. The holly and the ivy, and the light that can never go out.
Now the holly bears a berry as white as the milk, and Mary bore Jesus, who was wrapped up in silk. And Mary bore Jesus Christ, our Saviour, for to be. And the first tree in the greenwood, it was the holly, holly, holly. And the first tree in the greenwood, it was the holly. Now the holly bears a berry as green as the grass, and Mary bore Jesus, who died on the cross. And Mary bore Jesus Christ, our Saviour, for to be. And the first tree in the greenwood, it was the holly, holly, holly. And the first tree in the greenwood, it was the holly. Now the holly bears a berry as black as the coal, and Mary bore Jesus, who died for us all. And Mary bore Jesus, our Saviour for to be, and the first tree in the greenwood, it was the holly, holly, holly. And the first tree in the greenwood, it was the holly. Now the holly bears a berry, as blood it is red. Then trust we our Saviour, who rose from the dead. And Mary bore Jesus, our Saviour for to be, and the first tree in the greenwood, it was the holly, holly, holly. And the first tree in the greenwood, it was the holly.